everybody, to Saturday morning slow flow. Whether you're here in the studio or you're watching at home, we're gonna get started on the back. Turn the lights on this camera here so you guys can see a little better, hopefully. So you're laying on your back. You can have your knees bent or you can have your legs extended, whatever feels good to you. You can just take your first few moments here. Get that focus on your breath. Close your eyes. Start to notice your breath. Find the rhythm of it. Let it take over. As that breath takes over, it pushes out all your other distractions. That's what we want. So that you can be in a place where you're fully focused on your mat, your practice. And you're fully present to your mat, your practice. Once you feel like you've got your full focus on your breath, then add that element of control to your breath. Just breathe in through your nose and out through your nose. Letting your breaths become longer, slower, deep. So you inhale, you're pushing that breath all the way down to your belly. You're pulling the breath all the way down to your belly, that's what I'm saying. You exhale, pushing it then all the way out. Few more rounds here. Just let that breath kick in. And then when we're ready to start moving here, right, what we're going to do first, you're going to bend into your knees if you haven't already. So your feet are on the ground. Your knees are up to the sky. We're just going to do a little bridge flow at first. So that means you're going to press your feet into the mat and just lift your hips up. And then as you exhale, you're going to bring them back down. Right? So you're lifting just up and down. Right? But as you let them come down, just barely tag them to the floor. Don't push them all the way to the floor. Right? So keeping that back engaged. I'm telling the people here in the studio, we're going to work the back a lot today. So trying to get it ready. Let your hips go up and down. Doesn't matter if you're not going super high yet. Slowly getting into our body. So take about 3 more rounds here. And then let your hips come all the way down. Let them settle in. Now sweep your arms out long in that T position. Totally your feet out wider. Stare at the edges of your mat. Just take a couple windshield wipers here. Let your knees go to the right, pull them back up, and drop them to the left. So you're just going back and forth, back and forth. And come to a stop here. Now you're going to hug your knees into your chest. Take your hands to the crease of your knees. Just rock yourself up to a seated position. And we're going to come around into tabletop. That's that hands and knees pose. So your shoulders over your wrists, your hips over your knees. We're going to take a couple cat-cows here. At first, as you inhale, lift your chin up to the sky, tuck your come on under, let your belly drop, that's cow pose. As you exhale, tuck your chin to your chest, round out your back, hollow out your armpits, that's cat. So just keep moving here with your breath. Find the natural rhythm of your breath, match your movements to it. I'm trying to get that synovial fluid flowing here. Right? That's that lubrication, that good oil that flows through your spinal column, and it makes all your movements a little bit easier. When we do these cat-cows, it kind of promotes the production of that. So that's good, right? Anybody who's ever had severe back pain knows that you don't want things rubbing against each other. You want to feel that bone on bone. Want everything to be nice and lubricated so you can move easily. Take a few more rounds here. And then we're going to meet back in neutral tabletop. Now, as we come to neutral tabletop here, you're going to start to work your way down to your belly. So just start to move your knees back a little bit. Let your belly drop down. Right? And what we're going to do first, we're going to come to Sphinx pose. So move your arms forward. You want to be on your forearms. Right? So your elbows are right underneath your shoulders. Your fingertips are pointed forward towards the front of the room. You're lifting your chest. So you should feel that little pull right in your low back. Right? So we're just going to stay here for a couple breaths. Again, we're opening up the back. If you want more, right? If you need more to feel in your back, press your palms into the mat and lift your chest up. Right? Now you don't have to do that, right? Just if you need more in the back. Way more than enough for me to be in regular Sphinx. Right? You find it for you. If it feels like too much of your regular Sphinx, what you could do is move your elbows forward a little bit, let more of your belly come to the mat, take a little pressure off. All right? But wherever you are, just take 3 more breaths. And then from here, now we're going to come all the way down. Take your left hand and slide it all the way forward, so you're reaching towards the front of the room. Right? And then from there, you're going to bend into your right knee. Bring your right heel toward your right glute. You're going to take your right hand, sweep it around back behind you. Grab a hold of your right ankle with your right hand. Now, if you can't reach your right ankle, you're just reaching back there with your hand, pushing that heel towards the glute, like this, right? If you grab that ankle, grab the ankle. Now from here, you're going to lift up, lift your left hand up off the mat. If you can, lift your left foot up off the mat. You want your left palm to be facing towards the right side of the room with your left thumb up to the sky. It's just a little half bow here. Take 2 more breaths. And then let everything release. Drop that left foot down. Or right foot down. Drop the left foot down. Switch out your hands. So now you're going to draw the left hand back. You're going to reach the right hand forward. We're going to bend into the left knee, bring the left heel towards the left glute, then reach around with your left hand. Again, maybe you can grab that ankle. If you can't grab the ankle, just reach back like you could. Right. Push that heel as close as you can to the glute, then lift everything up. Lift your head, your shoulders up, lift that right palm up off the mat. Turn your right palm towards the left side of the room, right thumb up to the sky. Maybe you're lifting that right foot up. Chin into place, take 3 breaths here. Let everything come back down. Let your right foot and right hand come down. Gently release your left foot. Bring everything back down. Now, pull your hands by your chest. We're going to come back up into tabletop. Hands at knees pose. This time, once we're all the way up at tabletop, you're going to tuck your toes under. Lift your hips up and back. And come into your first down dog of the morning. So you can walk your feet out here. Bend one knee and the other. Walking the dog, if you're swaying your hips, if that feels good. Taking the time, checking in with your body. Notice what's going on, what feels good so far, what doesn't feel good. Make sure you're listening to your body as we go through the rest of practice. Right? And here you're going to bend your knees slightly, look between your thumbs, bring your feet forward to your hands. Come to forward fold. Now your belly is touching your upper thighs. Your head's being heavy and long. Shake your head yes. Shake your head no. Make sure there's no creases in the back of your neck. Now, as you inhale here, take a half lift into monkey. Pull your shoulders even with your hips. Right, and then as you exhale, pull back down. This time as we inhale, we're going to take a big reverse swan dive. Come all the way up to standing. As we come to standing here, just grab a hold of your left wrist with your right hand and pull to the right. Inhale, come back to center, switch out your hands, grab your left wrist with your right hand, or right wrist with your left hand, and pull to the left. Come back to center here. Now we're going to take a twist. You're going to sweep your right hand back behind you. Take that left hand. Now, I'm going backwards again. Take your right hand back behind you. Take your left hand in front. So you're just twisting to the right. Right? Get confused whether I'm mirroring or not mirroring. Here I'm not mirroring, right? We're all going the same way. Now inhale, come back up to center. Now we're going to twist to the left. Sweep your left hand back. Reach your right hand in front. Do both those twists. Now we're going to bring our hands back up overhead. You're going to touch all 10 fingertips together, right? So your same thumb, your thumbs are touching, your pointer fingers are touching, etc., etc. And we're going to take a back bend just right here. Shift your hips forward. Take your chest and your gaze up. Look up. Then inhale, come up tall. Now as you exhale, bend your elbows. Pull that little, I call it a finger tent, right? Pull that finger tent down through your heart center and then hinge at the hip. Bring it all the way back down and forward fold. Once you hear it forward fold, you're going to take another half lift monkey, shoulders even with the hips. Fold back down, plant your hands, step or float back to plank. So your shoulders right over your wrists. Your hips are just below your shoulders. If you want to drop down to your knees and do this, you can. We're going to go through our chaturanga, our gogi push-ups. So you're going to bend your elbows, let them hug to your ribs. On this first one, let yourself come all the way down to your belly. Camera more. Okay, there we go. Now, your hands right by your chest, your elbows are pointed straight behind you. You're pulling your shoulder blades together. As you inhale here, lift up, just like your baby cobra. Peel that chest up. It's kind of like that sphinx we did earlier, but with your flat palms. You should feel it in your low back. Right? You should be able to lift your hands up because you're using just your back to hold you up. Now, if you want to make this deeper, you always have the option to go to full up dog. Press your palms into the mat, straighten your arms. Pull your chest up and through. So you can be an up dog or you can be a baby cobra, whatever's feeling better to your body. Wherever you are here, flip your feet, lift your hips up and back. Come back to down dog. All right, so that's our basic sun salutation today. We're going to do it twice more through. We're going to move it a little faster. We're going to move it with our breath. So bend your knees, look between your thumbs, bring your feet forward with your hands. Come to forward fold. Inhale, take a half lift monkey. Exhale, fold back down. Inhale, over swan dive, come all the way up to standing. Grab your left wrist with your right hand, side bend to the right. Inhale, come back to center, switch it out. Grab your right wrist with your left hand, side bend left. Inhale, back to center. Exhale, we're going to twist. Sweep your right hand back. Reach your left hand forward, twist to the right. Untwist, bring your hands up overhead. Exhale, twist to the left. Left hand back, right hand forward. Inhale, untwist, both arms up overhead. Now, we're going to make those finger tents and take your back bend. Push your hip forward. Take your chest and your gaze up. Inhale, stand tall. Exhale, pull that finger tent down to the heart center. Hinge at the hip. Come all the way down and forward fold. Together, half lift monkey here. Shoulders even with the hips. Exhale, fold. This time you're going to plant your hands. Step or float back to plank. From your knees or from your toes. As you exhale, lower through your chaturanga. Bend your elbows. Hug up to your ribs. Inhale, baby cobra. We're all the way to up dog. And then exhale, shift. Down dog. All right, let's do that one more time through. Bend your knees. Look between your thumbs. Bring your feet forward, your hands come to forward fold. Inhale, half lift monkey. Exhale, fold back down. Inhale, reverse swan dive. Come all the way up to standing. Grab your left wrist with your right hand. Pull to the right. Bring it back to center. Switch it out. Pull to the left. Inhale, back to center. Exhale, take your twist. Right hand back, left hand forward. Inhale, untwist. Exhale, go the other way. Left hand back, right hand forward. Inhale, untwist. Hands up overhead. Touch your fingertips together overhead. And hold for the back here so you can see them. Take your back bend here. Push your hips forward, chest and gaze up. Inhale, stand tall. Exhale, pull them through heart center. And one more flow. We're going to inhale, take that half lift. Exhale, fold. Plant your hands, step or float back to plank. Exhale through your chaturanga. Inhale the baby cobra. We're all the way to up dog. And then exhale, shift. Down dog. All right, now from down dog here, you're going to bend your knees. Look between your thumbs. Bring your feet forward, your hands one more time. All right, this time as we inhale, we're going to come up into chair. So you're going to bend your knees. Send your hips back and down. Pull your upper body up. Now you want to feel this in your back, right? So like always, we're bending into our knees, sending those hips back and down to be able to look down and see your toes and wiggle your toes. Your hands can be reaching forward like mine are right now. They could be at heart center, or they could be going up to the sky. But I want you to think about your chest, wherever you are. Lift your your chest a little higher. Push your hips a little further back. Give this work to the back. You want to feel that back engaging here. It's not all in legs, chair. All right, so take one more deep inhale here. And then as we exhale, what we're going to do here, you're going to keep all the weight in your right foot. You're going to take a big step back with your left foot. Let your left toes turn to the right side of your mat. Keep your hips square towards the top of your mat. And take your hands up to the sky. So you're just here in warrior one. Keep the bend in your right knee. Left toes pointing to the right. You may have to adjust that left foot so you can get your hips totally square towards the front of the room. That's all right. Make whatever adjustments you need to. Now we're going to peel it open into warrior two. So you're going to let your hips turn towards the left side of your mat. And then take your arms out long. So you're reaching those right fingertips right over the middle, right over your right knee. Get that deep bend in your right knee. Send the right knee towards the pinky toe side of the foot. Now turn your right palm up to the sky. And then scoop up with your right hand. Let your left hand just trail along your left thigh. Maybe you want to wrap that left hand around your back. But keep bending into that right knee. Reaching further back. Now we're going to take it back through warrior two just for half a breath. Let your arms go long again. Then from here, you're going to start to hinge in the hip. Keep your right knee bent, but just reach those right fingertips as far forward as you can. If you can't reach them any further forward, let that right hand come all the way down inside your right leg. Maybe it goes to the floor, maybe not. Take your left shoulder, stack it on top of your right. So your whole chest is open towards the left side of the room. Maybe you can turn your left fingertips towards the front of the room and reach those left fingertips towards the top of your mat. If that makes you feel like you're caving your chest towards the floor, then don't do it. Just keep that hand straight up. All right, now from here, right, get a little tricky. You're going to come back down. Come back down, drop your hands on either side of your left foot. You guys stay where you are. I'm just going to turn forward here so you guys can see what I'm doing for this part. Now, you're going to lift your left foot up off the mat, right? But you're not fully straightening your right leg. You're still got a little bend in your right knee. You can put some weight in your hands. Then into your left knee. Then you're going to swing that left knee back behind the right knee. Now you're going to start to drop down. So you're really bending into your right knee. Let the top of your left foot land first. See how the top of my left foot is landing behind my right foot? Then I'm going to let my left knee land outside my right foot. And then from there, I'm going to drop my left hip all the way to the ground. So we can end up in this little twist. If you didn't end up in this position when you first came down, it's okay. Take the time, adjust here. We're going to take a twist here. You're going to bring your left hand, hug it around your right knee. Just reach that right hand towards the back of the room, over your right shoulder. And then you're going to come back around here. Now your hands are going to be on either side of your right foot. Now, you're going to press into your right foot, press into your left knee. The key here is to get that left hip off the ground, right? Once you have that left hip off the ground, you got a little freedom of movement. So we're going to lift that left hip up. Then you're just going to step that left foot all the way back. So you're back in runner's lunge. Plant your left hand on the inside of your right foot. Take your right hand up to the side. And I'm just turning so you guys can see me. You stay where you are. So we're here in this twisted lunge. So take your right hand up, left hand on the inside of the right foot. And then from there, just let that right hand come all the way down on the outside of your right foot. You're going to step your right foot back to meet your left. And take a float here. Exhale through your chaturanga. Inhale to cobra or up dog. Exhale, down dog. All right, so now we're going to do that all again on the other side. All right, so bend your knees, look between your thumbs, bring your feet forward, your hands, come up and forward fold. From our forward fold here. All right, now I'm going to rise up into shape. Bend your knees, center, back and down. Lift that upper body up. All right, this time from your chair, you're going to keep your left foot planted, step back with your right foot. Let your right toes turn towards the right side of the room. Take your hands up to the sky. So we're here in this warrior one on the left foot. I'm just turning again so you guys can see me. You guys always stay where you are on the mat unless I tell you to change directions, right? I just want everybody to be able to see me on camera. All right, so now we're going to open up. You're going to turn your hips towards the right edge of your mat and take your arms out long. Look right up at the middle finger there on your left hand. So you're in this warrior two. Right, stacking your shoulders. Turn that left palm up to the sky. Scoop out with the left hand. Let the right hand trail along your right thigh or wrap it behind your back. Deep bend in the left knee. Send the left knee towards the pinky toe side of the foot. back through your warrior two, arms long. You're gonna reach those left fingertips over your left knee, reach your left fingertips as far as you can towards the front of the room. When you can't go any further, drop that left hand down inside your left leg, take that right hand, stack it on top. Right? It's a little harder for me, I didn't get down as low. It's okay, I can't go as far over my head without my chest caving. So I'm just gonna keep my right shoulder stacked around here on top of my left in this side angle. All right, now from here, drop your hands down on either side of your left foot. Now here's where we're gonna step forward again. And I'm gonna come this way so you all can see, right? You're gonna lift your right foot up. Keep your hands on the mat, right? Keep the bend in your left knee. Bend into your right knee. It's gonna come outside your left knee. And then keep bending through that left knee so you can drop the top of your right foot outside your left foot. Drop your right knee outside your left foot, and then drop your right hip. So we're in this twist position. You're taking your right hand, hugging around that left knee, sweeping your left hand back behind you. Come back around, bring that left hand back around. So you're dropping your left hand outside your left foot, right hand inside your left foot. You're gonna press through your left foot and your right knee so you can lift that right hip. Once you lift that right hip, it's easy. Just step that right foot all the way back. Bring it to runner's lunge. Plant your left hand on the inside, or your right hand on the inside of your left foot. Take your left hand up to the sky. So we're just twisting here into our twisted lunge, stacking the shoulders, open the chest. And then drop that left hand down outside your left foot. Step your left foot back to meet your right. Take your flow here. Exhale through your chaturanga. Inhale to cobra up dog. Exhale, shift down. All right, so we're going to go through all of it again. We're going to go through the parts we've already been through a little bit faster, and then we've got some more stuff to add on. Right? So right now you're going to bend your knees, look between your thumbs, bring your feet forward, your hands, come to forward fold. Take a half lift monkey just to reason the back. Pull your shoulders even with your hips. Then fold back down. And this time as you inhale, come up into chair. Your knees, send your hips back and down. Whatever you want to do with your hands. You're going to keep your right foot up at the top of your mat. And then you're going to step back with your left foot, turning your left toes out. Put your hips square all the way towards the front of the room and take your hands up to the sky, warrior one. From our warrior one, open the hips to the left and takes the arms long, warrior two. Turn the right palm up to the sky, scoop up, reverse warrior. Come back through your warrior two, really reach those right fingertips towards the top of your mat, and then drop that right hand all the way down inside your right leg. Stack your left shoulder on top of the right, and you can start to reach your left fingertips towards the front of the room. Now from here, let your chest face towards the mat. Drop your hands on either side of your right foot. Okay, we're going to take that twist here. So I'm going to lift my left foot up, bend into my left knee. Swing it outside the right knee, drop the top of your left foot, drop your left knee, drop your left hip. Hug around your right knee, raise that left hand back behind you. And then from here, you're going to come back around, bring your hands on either side of your right foot. Right now, we're going to press through the right foot and left knee, lift the left hip, and then swing that left leg back so you're here in runner's lunge. Plant your left hand on the inside of your right foot, take your right hand up to the sky. We're coming into our twisted lunge the other way, Sarah. Drop your left hand, take your right hand up. There we go. Now, drop that right hand down outside your right foot. What you're going to do here, right, and keep that left heel up, or you can drop the left heel if that's easier. Walk your hands as far forward as you can. Right, so you're pulling your torso over your right thigh, reaching your hands towards the front of the room. Just take a breath right here. Then you're going to walk your hands all the way back. They're going to come to the inside of your right foot. So now you're going to push your right leg straight. Turn around again. As I'm rocking my hand, push my right leg straight, bending into my left knee, coming into my skandasana to the left. It could just be like this, nice and shallow. Right, maybe you take it down, you let your left heel lift, you let your right toes lift. Doesn't have to be that deep. Now from here, we're going to walk it back around into our runner's lunge. So you're pushing through that left foot, straightening the left leg, walking your hands back around. All right, now from here, you're going to lift your left foot up again, right? Well, for right now, keep your left foot down. Come up into either crescent or warrior one. Right, so you're lifting your chest up. Right now I'm in crescent because I got my left heel lifted. If you have your left heel down, it's good. And then you're going to take that left foot, You're going to step it forward. Now this time the left foot, as you step it, is going to swing over the right. So it's going to come here. So you're going to be an eagle. Little bend in your right knee. You can be like I am right now with your left toes just hanging out. You can drop your left toes to the floor. If you really want to push it, you take those left toes and you wrap them around the back of your right calf, right? So all good options. Now take your arms out long. And then from here, you're going to bring your hands, cross your left arm underneath the right, and then wrap your arms up. Maybe you just grab opposite shoulders. Maybe you come back up palm to back of palm. Maybe you get that double wrap and come fully palm to palm. You're going to start to lift your elbows up to the sky. Look up, look back. And then while you're in this little back bend, unwrap your left leg and step it all the way back. Let your left heel drop so your left toes are pointing to the left. All right, keep leaning back. So I'm still leaning back. And then I'm going to dive all the way forward, bring my right shoulder to the inside of my right knee. So you're still in your eagle arms. You just came down into this fold. Now from the fold, you're going to release your hands. Walk around, so come back into your runner's lunge. Once you're in your runner's lunge, drop your back knee. That's your left knee. Flatten it out. Now, you're going to kick your left foot to the left. You're going to plant your left hand on the inside of your right foot. You want your left shoulder over your left wrist. And then you're going to step all the way back with your right foot into a modified side. So I know I'm going to facing away from the camera here. It's all good. Keeping right. My right shoulder is over my right wrist. Now, if you want to make this a full plank, you can. Right, you take that right leg, extend it all the way along. Or sorry, that's your left leg. Extend your left leg all the way along. Or you take that left knee down. Up to you. Now, wherever you are here, you're going to take your right hand, drop it back down to the mat. Drop your right knee to the mat. So you're either in plank or you're in modified plank like I am. Or if you were in full side plank, maybe you're in a full plank here. But everybody's going to drop their knees eventually. You're going to push your palms away from the mat and come in to a high kneel. So high kneel looks like this. Right, I'm going to face the camera. You guys stay where you are. Now you're reaching up high. We're going to come from here into camel. So your hands are going to go back behind you. I'm going to turn all the way around here so you guys can see. Right, you're going to drop your hands back behind you. You put the base of your palms at your low back with your fingertips pointing toward your glutes. Pull your shoulder blades together, pull your elbows together. Maybe just push in to your back, into your hips, I should say, and look up. Right, maybe get a little more flexibility. You can tuck your toes and reach your hands down from one heel and the other. If that's too much, you don't have to do it. Maybe somebody can do this without tucking your toes, not me. Right, so for this full camel, take one more breath here, wherever you are. And then let yourself come all the way back up. Sweep your arms up overhead. And then from here, you're just going to come down into your child's pose. Let your hips move over your heels. Reach your arms out long. Take a breath here. Now from your child's pose, just pull it back up into tabletop. Tuck your toes under. Lift your hips up and back. And back into your down dog. Bend your knees, look between your thumbs, raise your feet forward, your hands come to forward fold. Back into our music here. So just stay forward fold for a second. Hey Google, play yoga music.
Playing yoga music on Spotify.
Now take a half lift to monkey. Fold back down, then we're going to come up into our chair. Bend your knees, center, back and down. Pull the upper body up. Reach your hands forward. Or heart center, right? Now from here, we're going to stay with our left foot at the top of the mat. Take a big step back with your right foot. Bring it in to your warrior one. So let your hips square towards the top of the mat. Take your hands up to the sky. We're going to open it up to warrior two. Sweep that left hand back behind, right hand back behind you. Reach the left hand forward. Look right over the middle finger on your left hand. Turn your left palm up to the sky. Scoop up to your reverse warrior. Come back through your warrior two. Reach your left fingertips towards the front of the room. And then drop that left hand down on the inside of the left knee. And take your right hand, stack it on top. Now from here, we're going to come to that twist. So you're dropping your hands down on either side of your left foot. Keep your left knee bent. Lift up with your right foot. Bend into your right knee. So you're bringing that right knee outside your left knee. You want to drop the top of your right foot first. outside your left foot, then drop your right knee right next to your left foot, then let your right hip drop. Right, so we're gonna twist. You're gonna take your right hand, hug it around your left knee, reach that left hand back behind you. Go back around, bring both hands on either side of your left foot, press into your left foot and your right knee. So lift your right hip, and just swing that right foot all the way back. So you're back in runner's lunge. You can drop the left heel if you want to, or right heel, I'm sorry. Plant your right hand on the inside of your left foot, take your left hand up to the sky, come to your twisted lunge. And from there, you're going to drop that left hand down, walk your hands forward as far as you can here. You can drop your right heel, you can have your right heel up, you're just trying to walk your hands out so your torso is coming right over that left leg. Lengthen everything out. And then bring your hands back inside your left foot, right? Drop your right heel if you haven't already. Push that right leg all the way straight. Bend into your left knee. I said that wrong. Bend into your right knee. You guys they're all doing it in here. If you want to make it deep, you can. Let your right heel lift. Let your left toes lift. If you want to keep it shallow, keep it shallow. Now we're going to walk it all the way back. Push into your right foot. Let your right leg straighten. Bend into your left knee. Come back to your runner's lunge. Now this time we're going to come up into a warrior one or a crescent, right? So either your right heel's up or down. Bring yourself up. And then from there, now we're going to step forward. I'm going to turn this way. You're going to step forward with your right foot and just cross that right foot over the left. So again, it could be here, just foot hanging out. You can have your foot on the ground, or you can tuck those toes all the way back behind your calf if that's available to you, right? I'm not going to stay there because I'm not going to be able to hold it while I'm talking and everything, but you can if you want to. Take your arms out long, and this time we're going to cross our right arm underneath our left, and then wrap up. Maybe it's here, maybe it's here, maybe it's here. Start to lift the elbows up and away from your body, look up, and then from there you're going to step all the way back with your right foot, right? Land in the lunge, so you're turning those right toes out. Hips are still turned towards the front of your mat. And then as you're leaning back, then you start to dive all the way forward. Bring your left shoulder towards the inside of your left knee. Unwind your hands here. Bring them down on either side of your left foot. Turn your right toes forward. Now, you can drop down if you want to come to full plank. Maybe you don't ever drop down your right knee. Otherwise, you can drop down your right knee if you want to come to that modified plank. Kick your right foot out to the side if you dropped your knee. Plant your right hand either way, right? Right shoulder over the right wrist. Take that big step back with the left foot. So then you're here in this modified side plank, or maybe you're in full side plank with your right leg extended underneath your left. Now from here, everybody's going to drop that left hand down to the mat. And either you're going to end up in plank or modified plank. If you're in full plank, drop your knees. So come to modified plank. So you're down on your knees, and you're going to push away from the mat. Bring it all the way up into your high kneel. Reach your hands up to the sky, lengthening out your spine. We're going to come into our camel from here. So sweep your hands back behind you again. Maybe they stay at the base of your spine. Maybe they reach towards your heels. Either way, you pull the shoulder blades together, elbows point straight back behind you. And then you're pushing your hips forward either with your hands or just with your back strength. Look up to the ceiling. 2 breaths here. And then come all the way up. Sweep your arms up overhead. And then from there, you're going to hinge at the hip and come down into your child's pose. While our music doesn't want to play there, I think I'm maybe saying something that it makes it think we want it to stop. Just play it on my phone. You guys can hear it in here, hopefully. All right, wherever you are, if you're at home, or you're here in the studio, you're in your child's pose, it's all good. Hang out there for a few more breaths. So when you're ready here, from your child's pose, one more time, right? You're going to come up into tabletop. Tuck your toes under. Lift your hips up and back. Right? Walk your feet forward to your hands so that you're in forward fold. And then toe your feet out wide to the edges of your mat. Turn your heels in and your toes out. Bend your knees and drop your hips, come down into that Vinyasa squat. Right, so if Vinyasa is comfortable to you, stay right here. If you have a block, you can sit on your block. If you don't have a block or it's not comfortable to you with or without the block, right, then you're just going to come all the way down to your glutes and bring the soles of your feet together and come to bound ankle. So you can be in the squat, you can be in the squat with a block, you can be in this bound ankle, whatever's comfortable to you. Let your eyes close, just take a couple breaths here, reconnect with your breath. Notice if you still have that full focus on your breath. Notice if you still have full control of your breath. If you lost either of those things, this is your chance to reassert. Just lengthen your breaths again, slow them again, deepen them again. Right, now from here, let's all make our way into tabletop, right? With hands and knees posed. We're gonna do a little core sequence here. It's short, right? But it's work. So keep telling yourself, like my favorite instructor said the other day when I was taking her class, you can do hard things. You can do hard things. Make that your mantra, right? All right, so we've got our shoulders over our wrists. Now we're gonna drop down to our forearms. So you're gonna bring your forearms down to the mat. So now your elbows are over or underneath your shoulders. You want to keep your hands pointing straight ahead here, right? Resist the urges we do these to bring them in and interlace your hands. Just keep your fingertips towards the top of the mat like you're making a little number 11 with your hands. All right, what we're going to do here, you're going to tuck your toes under. You're going to lift your hips up and back. So you're coming up into dolphin. So it's like a down dog on your forearms right now. Right, you're letting your head drop between your shoulder blades. The closer you walk your feet into your elbows, right, the more your hips go up, the more upside down you become, the more harder it is. So you decide, right? If you can walk your feet a little further back, that's okay. And once you're all the way up here, take your right leg, lift it up to the sky. Now bend into your right knee, bring your right heel toward your right glute. And then see if you can curl that right knee into your chest, bringing your nose and your knee towards each other. There we go. Now take that right leg straight back up. Can you do that 2 more times? Bend into your knee, curl it into your nose, take it all the way back up to the sky. Do it 1 more time. Bend your knee, curl it toward your nose, take it back up to the sky. Now let that right foot come all the way down. Come back to your regular dolphin. Let's see if we can do this on the left side. Take your left leg up to the sky, bend into your left knee, curl it into your chest. Send it back up to the sky. Just do that 2 more times. Bend your knee, curl it toward your nose, take it back up to the sky. Do it 1 more time. Bend into the knee, curl it under, take it all the way up. Then drop your left foot down to the mat. So you're back in your dolphin. Now you can drop your knees to the mat and let yourself go back into child's pose. If that felt like a lot, right, on your shoulders, you can sweep your hands back behind you, reach your fingertips toward your heels and be in this passive child's pose, letting shoulders kind of rest on your knees. Just take about 3 breaths here. And then when you're ready here, we're going to come back up into tabletop. You'll let your hips come down to one side or the other. And what we're going to do here, we're all going to come into bound ankle. Right? You're going to bring the soles of your feet together. Let those knees fall to the side. We've done a lot of work with the back today. Right? So maybe that means you're ready to come into turtle. Right? If not, I'm going to give you other options in a second, no worries, right? But you're going to bring your hands to the inside of this little diamond shape you've made with your feet. And then slide your hands underneath your ankles so your hands can wrap around your feet from the outside. Sit up nice and tall at first, and then you're going to tuck your chin to your chest. Let yourself round out. Drive your forehead toward your feet. So that's turtle. It's a lot of stretch in the low back. Again, your low back works a lot today. It's nice and warm. Maybe this feels good. Hopefully this feels good today. If it still feels like it's way too much on your back, here are your other options, right? You sit up tall, and maybe you keep that back nice and flat. You just walk your chest forward, let your hands travel past your feet. It's a little bit of stretch in the back, still getting that full stretch in the legs. If feels like too much, then just sit up nice and tall. Like there's a string on the crown of your head pulling you up towards the ceiling. Keep your hands right on your feet or your ankles. And then you're not getting the back involved at all, you're just opening up the legs. Works for you here. Take about 4 or 5 more breaths. And when you're ready here, slowly bring yourself all the way up. Now, from here, you're going to bring your knees together, put your feet on the ground. So you're just in this reclined position, right? Take your hands back behind you, so then you're leaning back with your hands a little bit. You can keep the position of your hands to whatever's comfortable. Maybe your fingertips point towards your glutes, maybe they point out to the sides, maybe they're pointing towards the back of the room, right? But you want to take a little weight into your hands here. And then toe your feet out wide, so that your pinky toes are lined up with the outside edges of your mat, right? Now we're going to drop both knees to the right here, right? So just let your knees drop to the right, and then take your gaze over your left shoulder. So I'm just going to hold right here. Maybe your knees don't come down, mine don't, especially on this side. Hold this for about 5 breaths. Now if this feels like too much on your neck, maybe you take your neck and look over your right shoulder instead, make it a little gentler. It's up to you. And then bring those knees back up, center everything out. Keep your legs wide, so you should still have your feet lined up with the outside edges of your mat. Now we're going to go the other way, and you're just going to let both knees fall over to the left. And then from there, take your chin, your gaze over your right shoulder. If that feels like too much, again, you can look over your left shoulder. Pull your knees back up to center here. Feet come flat to the mat. Keep them wide, right? Keep your hands back behind you. Now I just want you to windshield wiper your legs. So you're just going to go back and forth, right? So you're just dropping your knees to the right, bring them back, bring them to the left. So you're not staying. You're just kind of swishing them back and forth, releasing any remaining tension in those legs. And then bring it back to center here. Now from here, we're going to come down to our back. So bring your feet to their hip width distance apart. Have your toes at the very top of your mat. Reach your arms out long, tuck your chin to your chest. Let yourself lay all the way down on your back here. We're going to come back into bridge. Remember, we did this at the beginning of class, but now we're going to stay a little longer. So we've got time to make it as deep as we possibly can. So take your hands to your sides, palms face down. Walk your heels in a little bit closer to your glutes, close as you can get them. And then press all 4 corners of both feet into the mat. Lift your hips up to the sky. So now you're in a nice bridge. If you have a block and you want to slide that block underneath you for a supported bridge, you can do that. If you don't have a block or you just like unsupported bridge, then we're going to stay right here. We're going to engage our quads, engage our glutes, use the strength of the legs to push your hips higher so you increase the flexibility of your back. Either way, supported or unsupported, you want to tuck your shoulders at least slightly so your chest starts to puff open. Right? Now if you're an unsupported bridge and you want to make this really intense, maybe you work one entire shoulder, then the other underneath your body. Clasp your hands underneath your body. That pushes your hips even higher. Right? It's just an option. You don't have to go there. Whatever feels good to you. And we're focusing on the back today, so I want you to take 4 more breaths here. And then on your next exhale, let those hips float down, nice and slow. one vertebrae at a time. Untuck your shoulders. And let your back, your whole back from your tailbone all the way to your shoulders, just press and sink into the mat. Okay. And then from there, once that whole spinal column is pressing into the mat, right, take your feet and lift them straight up to the sky. So you're not lifting your tailbone up as you do that. You're still pressing that tailbone into the ground. You're flexing your feet so that your heels go towards the ceiling. Right? This is your waterfall. It's a great inversion. Sends the blood from the feet where it pools all day back to the head and the heart where we need it more. So if this feels good, you can stay right here. If you want to take it deeper here, you can come maybe into shoulder stand, where you lift your hips up off the mat. Put your hands to the small of your back so you're supporting yourself on your shoulders and your forearms. If you come to shoulder stand, your feet can kind of half flex, half pointed. You're making sure that those elbows still point towards the front of the room. Don't let them splay up to the sides. That takes the body weight into the elbow joint rather than the shoulder roll. We don't want that in shoulder stand. Right? You don't have to be in shoulder stand. You can stay in waterfall. If you have a block, you can put that block under your hips in waterfall. Make it a little more intense that way. Right? Both good options. All good options. Whatever version of the inversion you're in. We're getting that increased circulation like I talked about. We're naturally lowering our blood pressure. We're flooding our bodies right now with all sorts of anti-aging, anti-stress hormones. Now when we're ready to come out of this, we're all going to come out of it the same way. Bend your knees. And scrape along your face and body. Slowly slide your feet back down to the mat. Once your feet are all the way back down to the mat, now we're going to come into Happy Baby. Alright, so in Happy Baby, you're going to take your feet up to the sky again. This time, maybe you don't have to come right over the hips. They can be angled a little bit more forward. You're going to separate your feet. Maybe slightly, maybe a lot. Right, it's up to you. You're going to bend your knees. Maybe slightly, maybe a lot, maybe not at all. That's up to you. Reach up with your same hand for your same foot. Maybe you're grabbing the inside sole of the foot, maybe the outside sole of the foot, maybe the ankle, the shin, the knee. Wherever you make that connection, really, it's fine. Once you've made it, you roll forward. So again, you want to make sure that sacrum, that tailbone is down on the mat. Once you feel it pressing into the mat, then you can add that rock where you go from side to side. And it gives you a little spinal massage, which should feel good. If it doesn't feel good, just don't do it, right? You want this to feel good. You want the Happy Baby to be the happy part of your practice. So make it that. You skip the rock if you need to. Maybe now that you're in the pose, you want to change your leg position. Your legs can be wider or straighter or bent more. Bring them in more. And just find somewhere where it feels really delicious to you. Happy Baby always should be the happy part of your practice. You should be like, ah, yes. I worked hard, now I get this reward. Couple more breaths here. And then you're going to take your knees, have them all the way in to your chest. Okay. And then we're going to take our final twist. You're going to let your arms go long, like wings, in that T position. And then drop your knees to the right as you take your chin and your gaze to the left. If you want to here, you can take your right hand, press down on those knees. Make it deeper, bring the knees closer to the earth, or if you have the space, you want to extend your legs so that your toes go toward the right fingertips. Wherever you are, you want to keep that left shoulder anchored. That's what's giving you the twist. All right, and your next inhale here, pull your knees back to center. And then as you exhale, you're going to drop your knees over to the left and take your chin and your gaze to the right. Again, you're going to take that left hand baby and press down. Bring those knees closer to the earth. Maybe you're going to extend your left toes toward your left fingertips. Your left toes, both of your toes, toward your left fingertips. Maybe you're just going to stay where you are. It's all good. Take this time. Make sure that right shoulder is still anchored. We always finish off with these twists just to seal up our practice. Let our bodies remember what they did. Next time we come practice yoga, it's On your next inhale here, pull your knees back to center. Give your knees one final hug into your chest. And then let's set up for our final pose, our Shavasana. Let your legs go long. Take your hands to your sides. They can be palms face down or palms face up. This is your traditional Shavasana, flat on your back. Now, if this is not what's comfortable to you, you don't have to stay there. There's other options. You can bend your knees. Right? We've worked a lot on the back today. Maybe this feels good. Let your knees fall in against each other. Maybe it would feel better to butterfly your legs. Let your knees fall away from each other. Maybe you want to roll to your side or onto your belly. Just find somewhere to go where you're perfectly comfortable, where you're going to be able to stay perfectly still. Your mind is going to be able to go perfectly quiet. Let your breath guide you to that quiet mind. You don't need to control it here. Release that control. But keep your complete focus on your breath. Keep noticing your breath, observing your breath, cataloging it, letting it take over your mind. Eventually then you'll get to a place where your breath can guide you right to a place where there's nothing left in your mind but you and your breath. And that's going to be your true quiet of mind. Slowly start to come back into the room. Wiggle your fingers, your toes, feeling that increased sensation that comes with a quiet mind. If you want to here, take your arms overhead, do that nice full, deep body stretch. And then you're just going to roll over onto your right side in a fetal position. Take a couple breaths right there. Just reacclimate to our space. Let the sights and the sounds of the room come back to you. As long as you need. Right there. When you're ready, only when you're ready, you're going to push yourself up to seated. And we'll close here. Once we're all up to seated, we're just going to close with our 2 Mari breaths and then an Om. The Mari breath, we inhale. So we exhale, make that little humming sound in the back of the throat. The Om is the universal syllable, uses all parts of the throat. You can join me in these breaths, or you can just listen. But let's close our eyes here. We'll inhale together. Inhaling again. Then we'll inhale one final time. And let your eyes drift open. Bring your hands to heart center. Thank you, all of you, for sharing your energy, your practice with me this morning. The light in me honors the light in each of you. Namaste. Right, and I will see you guys all tomorrow for some gentle yoga, so join me for that, whether you're coming here to the studio or you're joining me from the comfort of your living room. I will see you guys tomorrow. Have a great day. Bye.